Hi there. I'd like you to get as comfortable as you possibly can and lay back in some nice warm clothes, maybe with a little blanket wrapped around yourself. And then I would like you to just listen to this little fairy tale that I'm about to tell you. The fairy tale is going to be from this book. It's one of the most famous Danish writers called Hans Christian Andersen. And surprise, fairy tales. And the fairy tale I'm gonna tell you is called The Swineherd. Before I begin, I wanted you to look at this beautiful picture. Let me see if I can get it right. I think the illustration was so beautiful with all up here the swans and the horses running in the field, and we have snowman, we have Thumbelina down here, we have the dog with the big eyes, and the Emperor's new clothes up here. Up here. So let's get to the story. While I prepare it, I want you to, if you can, shut off anything that might distract you, like, you know, the television, your phone. No, go someplace quiet to listen and just relax. Let's see if I can find it here. It's all the way to page 116. All right. You ready, sweetie? Good. All right. The Swineherd. Once upon a time, there was a poor prince. He had a kingdom that was very small, but it was big enough to marry on, and that was what the prince wanted. Now, it was no doubt rather cheeky of him to be dare to ask the emperor's daughter if she would have him. But dare he did, for his name was renowned far and wide, and 100 princesses would have said yes. But did this one? We shall know soon. On the grave of the prince's father grew a rose tree, such a beautiful tree, though it bloomed only once in 5 years, and then produced only one flower. But that one rose was so fragrant that its scent banished all sorrows and cares. He had a nightingale that could sing as if all the beautiful melodies in the world lived in his little throat. He decided to present the rose and the nightingale to the princess, so both were placed in great silver caskets and sent to her. The emperor had them brought before him in the great hall where the princess was playing at tea parties with her ladies in waiting. They never did anything else. And when she saw the caskets containing the presents, she clapped her hands with glee. "Oh, I do hope it's a little pussy cat," she said. But out came the beautiful rose. "Isn't it prettily made?" said all the ladies in waiting. "It's more than pretty," said the emperor. "It is nice." But the princess felt it and almost burst into tears. "Oh, Papa," she said, "it's not artificial, it's real." "Oh," said all the courtiers, "it's real." "First let us see what is in the other casket before we get too annoyed," said the emperor. And out came the nightingale, which sang so beautifully that no one could say anything bad about it. "Superb! Charmant!" said the ladies in waiting, for they all spoke French, each one worse than the next. "How the bird reminds me of Her late Majesty, the Empress' musical box," said one of the old courtiers. "Ah, yes, the tone, the execution are just the same." "Yes," said the emperor, weeping like a baby. "But I should not think it is real," said the princess. "It is. It's a real bird," said the men who had brought it. "Then let the bird fly," said the princess. And she absolutely refused to allow the prince to come. But he was not to be discouraged. Smearing his face brown and black, he pulled a cap down over his head and knocked at the palace door. "Good day, Emperor," he said. "How about taking me into service at the palace?" "Well, so many people come asking," said the emperor. "But let me see. I do need someone to look after the pigs. We have such a lot of them." So the prince was employed as the imperial swineherd. He was given a miserable little room down by the pigsty, and there he could stay. But he worked away all day long, and by evening he had made a charming little cooking pot with bells fixed all around it. And as soon as the pot boiled, the bells tinkled out the old song. "Oh, my dearest Augustine, everything's gone, gone, gone." But the cleverest thing about it was that if you held your fingers in the steam from the pot, you could smell at once what was being cooked in every hearth in the town. Ah, that was something different from a rose. The princess came walking by with all her ladies in waiting, and when she heard the tune, she stopped and looked pleasured, for she too could play "Oh, my dearest Augustine" on the piano. It was the only tune she could play, and she played it with one finger. "That's the one I can play," she said. "He must be a well-educated swineherd. Go in and ask him for the price of that instrument." One of the ladies in waiting had to go in, but she slipped on a pair of clogs first. "What do you want for the pot?" asked the lady in waiting. "I want 10 kisses from the princess," said the swineherd. "Good heavens," said the lady in waiting. "I won't sell it for less," said the swineherd. "Well, what did he say?" asked the princess. "I really couldn't tell you," said the lady in waiting. "It's too awful." "You'd better whisper then." And whisper she did. "He's very rude," said the princess, walking away. But she had not gone far before the bells began to tinkle again. "Oh, my dearest Augustine, everything's gone, gone, gone." "Look," said the princess. "Ask if he will take 10 kisses from my ladies in waiting." "No thanks," said the swineherd. 10 kisses from the princess, or I keep the pot." "Oh, what a dreadful bore it is," said the princess. "You'll have to stand all around me so that nobody sees." The ladies in waiting gathered round and spread out their skirts, so the swineherd got his 10 kisses, and the princess got her cooking pot. Well, wasn't that delightful? The pot was made to boil night and day, and they soon knew what was cooking on every hearth in the town, from the chamberlains to the cobblers. The ladies in waiting danced and clapped their hands. "We know who's going to have sago soup and pancakes. We know who's going to have porridge and rissoles. It's so interesting." "Most interesting," said the princess of the imperial household. "Yes, but keep it a secret, for I'm the emperor's daughter." "By all that is holy," they said. The swineherd, or rather the prince, although they had no idea that he was anything but a swineherd, never let a day pass without the making of something. This time he had made a rattle, which, when he swung it, played all the waltzes and jigs and polkas of the composers in the world. "But that is superb," said the princess, passing by. "I've never heard a lovelier composition. Look, you go in and ask him the price of that instrument, but no kisses, mind. He wants 100 kisses from the princess," said the ladies in waiting, who had gone in to ask. "I think he's mad," said the princess, walking away. But after only a few steps she stopped. "One must encourage the arts," she said. "I'm the emperor's daughter. Tell him he shall have 10 kisses like yesterday, but the rest he can have from my ladies in waiting." "Yes, but we don't want to at all," said the ladies in waiting. "Rubbish," said the princess. "If I can kiss him, you can too. Just remember that I give you food and wages." So the ladies in waiting had to go back to the swineherd. 100 kisses from the princess, he said, or 2 each his own. "Stand in front of me," said the princess, and all the ladies in waiting stood around her while he kissed her. "What's all that commotion down by the pigsty?" said the emperor, who had come out on the balcony. He rubbed his eyes and put on his glasses. "Why, it's the ladies in waiting at play. I must go down and join them." And he pulled his slippers up at the back, for they were just shoes that he had trodden down. My, how he hurried! As soon as he reached the farmyard, he walked softly, and the ladies in waiting were so busy continuing the kisses to make sure it was an honest bargain, and the swineherd received neither too many nor too few, that they simply didn't notice the emperor. He stood on tiptoe. "What's all this?" he said, when he saw who was kissing whom, and he smacked them on the head with a slipper just as the swineherd was receiving his 86th kiss. "Get out," the emperor said ferociously, and both the princess and the swineherd were expelled from his empire. She stood there crying. The swineherd muttered angrily, and the rain poured down. "Ah, how wretched I am," said the princess. "If only I had accepted the handsome prince. Oh, I'm so unhappy." Then the swineherd wiped the black and brown stain off his face behind a tree, took off the poor clothes, and appeared in his prince robes, looking so glorious that the princess curtsied to him. "I've come to despise you," he told her. "You did not want an honest prince. You had no interest in the rose or the nightingale, but you could kiss a swineherd for a toy. So now, goodbye." He returned to his kingdom, locked the door, and shut the bolt, so that now she could indeed stand outside singing, "Oh, my dearest Augustine, everything's gone, gone, gone." For as far as she was concerned, everything had really gone.